AI can produce a complete draft in seconds. So why does the work so often feel heavier instead of lighter? You may know the pattern. You type, "Write a launch post for this product." A full page appears almost immediately. Then you read it. The tone is wrong. The central point is missing. The product problem has been replaced by generic claims. You add context, remove exaggeration, repair the title, and ask for another version. After several rounds, the 10-second draft has created 30 minutes, or more, of cleanup. It is tempting to blame the model. But switching to a more capable model often reproduces the same problem in a more polished form. The deeper issue is a mismatch between speed and boundaries. Execution begins before direction has been made explicit. The AI does not know whose state this work is meant to change. It does not know which facts must survive the rewrite, which claims are forbidden, or what evidence you will use to decide that the work is complete. It fills those gaps with likely patterns. The faster it generates, the faster the hidden ambiguity becomes visible as rework. That is why instructions such as "make it better," "make it more premium," or "rewrite it using best practices" are so risky. They communicate an expectation, but not an executable direction. The same would be true for a new colleague. If the real goal, constraints, and acceptance standard remain only in your head, the person doing the work has to guess. Each correction introduces one more missing condition, and the task drifts through repeated rewrites. Reducing rework does not require a complicated system of prompt tricks. Before execution starts, make 4 things explicit. First, define the outcome. Do not stop at "write an article." Say who it is for, what the reader should understand, what action should become easier, and whether the deliverable is a publication-ready article or a discussion draft. A concrete outcome removes the need for the AI to invent the purpose of the work. Second, name what must remain. It may be verified product facts, the brand voice, an existing user journey, or a code boundary that already passed validation. If these things matter, make them visible before the rewrite starts. Otherwise, an apparently helpful optimization can erase exactly what made the original useful. Third, state what must never happen. Do not fabricate user stories. Do not promise metrics without evidence. Do not change an established entry point. Do not expose internal concepts that the end user does not need to understand. Negative constraints do not suffocate good work. They protect the parts of the result that carry trust, continuity, and responsibility. Fourth, define proof of done. For an article, inspect the final web page, not only the source markdown. For a video, inspect the persisted file, duration, aspect ratio, subtitles, audio, and reel frames, not only the script. For code, run validation that reaches the changed path, not merely a diff review. Once completion can be proven, the work no longer ends with "this seems good enough." These 4 definitions do not slow AI down. They convert speed from an unguided sprint into forward movement. You can catch divergence before a full deliverable is built. The agent can also test its own actions while it works. Is this still serving the intended outcome? Did it damage anything that had to remain? Did it cross a forbidden boundary? Is there enough evidence to claim completion? There is one more problem that a good prompt cannot solve by itself. These constraints cannot live only inside a single chat. Real projects continue across days, roadmap steps, and different agents. When the conversation ends, the next execution often begins with one isolated sentence and no reliable memory of the decisions behind it. Direction has to be guessed again, and the same rework returns. SoloMap is designed around that continuity problem. It keeps the project goal, the current roadmap step, completion criteria, agent conversations, validation evidence, and handoff records beside the local project. You still decide what should be built, why it matters, and which boundaries must not move. The agent executes within that frame. When a task ends, useful conclusions can become context for the next run instead of disappearing into a closed chat window. The point is not to let a tool make more decisions for you. The point is to make every execution more faithful to the decisions you have already made. Real efficiency is not the number of words, files, or screens produced per minute. It is the share of work that moves in the right direction on the first pass,
and the amount of today's work that the next step can safely reuse.
Before your next AI task, pause for 2 minutes. Write the outcome you actually need. List what must remain and what must not happen. Name the evidence you will inspect at the end. Then let the agent accelerate.
Speed matters, but direction must belong to you first.